All righty, gang. Welcome. Sorry about yesterday. That internet kept coming out on and off yesterday, so I had to cancel yesterday's show because we had a little bit of weather come pouring through here yesterday. It's not too bad today down here. It looks pretty good, and it looks like most of it's gone by us already. So we got a good show for you today. We're going to talk about what we were going to talk about yesterday. We're going to talk about anchoring, the fine art of anchoring, why and how, and go through over a few things. First, though, today is OKUMA Wednesday. We always talk about an OKUMA product on Wednesdays. Yesterday was Promar Ahi USA Tuesday. So check out the Promar Ahi website. Go over there to Promar Ahi. Pick up some sabikis, pick up a couple of gaffs, pick up some landing nets, pick up some bait scoops. When you're getting ready to check out, put in the code YSWG and you'll save 10% on your order. Go over to promarahi.com and check out all the cool products they have over there. And then today we're talking about the Makaira series reels. These Makairas are absolutely incredible. You can catch pretty much anything that's swimming around in the ocean with the Makaira series reels, and they go from all the way up to the 130, which you see me using on my kite videos, catching those bluefin with the 130. It's like actually cranking them in with a winch. But the Makaira series reels from OKUMA are absolute gotta have if you're into this big fish fishing right now going on. And these things free spool so nice and so smooth, and the drag system is so nice, and the big power handles that they put on them. Everything about these reels were made for catching big fish. So check out the Makaira series reels from OKUMA. You won't be bummed. You'll be pretty happy, and they got a couple of different colors. Pick out. This is Gunsmoke, and then they got the gold. Check them out. Go to Makaira or go to any fine tackle store. They all carry the Makaira series reels, or you can order them online, figure it out, go get yourself some Makairas and get ready to start fishing for this fish that's out here in Southern California. Gang, we got breaking news. I just talked to Billy over at Western Outdoor News, and they're going to have to cancel the California Tuna Tournament, or California Tuna Jackpot, sponsored by Western Outdoor News this Saturday. You guys going to have the first hurricane tropical depression coming into Southern California since 97. You can track it. Go to windy.com. That's what I always tell everybody. Go to Windy. You can look at this hurricane. It's marching. It's going to leave here this afternoon, or excuse me, tomorrow morning, it looks like, if you're tracking it on Windy, and it's going to cruise right on up. And it's going to peter out and kind of spin out towards San Clemente Island on Saturday morning. That being said, this thing brings a phenomenal amount of unstable air with it. So be very, very careful. As if you have that burning desire to go fishing this weekend, be very careful. The game plans will talk about the weather. It's going to be, who knows? With unstable air, it's hard for any weatherman to tell you exactly what's going to happen in Southern California. You got all kinds of things that could happen to the weather. I would suggest this would be a good weekend to go through your tackle, go through your boat, get everything fired up. It's going to be an unbelievable fall. But this is just a little time out in the middle of this phenomenal fishing to get ready for what's about to happen. And so it's a little time out. Just be careful if you decide you have to go fishing Saturday or Sunday. Nobody really knows what the weather's going to do. If they tell you they do, they're lying to you. With the unstable air, I just did a video down on the beach, did it live on Instagram. That's the possible what the ocean might look like on Saturday up in Southern California. So just be very careful if you have to go fishing. But today we're talking about anchoring your boat, and why is it so important to anchor, and what do you mean, Dave, anchoring? What are you talking about? I don't like to anchor. I just like to drift through the kelp and catch a couple bass and then go drift around some more. Gang, that's fine if that's what you're into. When we go, we like to catch all the fish. We're not talking about offshore fishing. We're talking about fishing the islands, the coast, up or down the coast. What you got to remember is the ocean is a giant oasis a giant desert with little oases in it. And those oases are the spots. And it's imperative that you're somewhere on this spot if you want to catch fish. How do you get on the spot? Well, you drop your anchor. I know a lot of boats today have what's called a sky hook or electronic anchoring system. That causes a bunch of chaos in the water. You're churning the water up. You're making big giant tornadoes in the water with your propellers. Yeah, it might keep you on the spot, but I'll guarantee it's scaring every fish away on that spot, especially if you're sea bass fishing. My goodness. People are so worried about making noise when they're sea bass fishing. They're worried about dropping their pliers on the deck or stomping on the deck or dancing around or the generator or the bait pump. So worried about noise. And then you're going to keep your motors on to keep you on the spot to fish. No, that ain't the way. The way is to anchor on the spot. The way is to figure out where that rock is behind the boat, how the current's going to set up, how the wind's going to make you lay. Everything is different. When you drop your anchor, it's not like it was yesterday, or it might not be like it was a mile away from you when you dropped your anchor 2 hours ago when you make a move. Because the way you're going to lay on your anchor, and what do I mean by that? When the anchor is hooked to the bottom, the way the back end of the boat is going to point is going to be very dependent on current and wind. Those two things are going to shift the way your boat lays. Your boat could swing back and forth in a lot of wind. The boat will swing back and forth across the spot, back and forth, swinging. But you're still anchored, because the boat would not be swinging if you're not anchored. When you drop your anchor, that doesn't mean your boat is not going to move. It is going to move with the wind, and it is going to move with the current. So what I try to teach people is, when you go to drop your anchor, if you think that you're going to lay downhill current, then you're probably going to want to look at your compass, and you're probably going to want it to be reading about, 350 to 10, somewhere between 350 and 10 degrees is going to lay that boat for a downhill northwest wind. Why do I talk about the compass? Because the compass can save your day. Let's just say I get with you guys and we get over to San Clemente Island, we get to White Rock, and I believe we're going to lay down the island. So I throw the anchor over and it hits the bottom and we hang anchor, but it's an uphill current, and all of a sudden now the bow of the boat is pointed up at 120 degrees, and I drop the anchor at 330 degrees. Boat swung all the way around. Now it's important to remember, when you drop the anchor, the bow was pointing at 330 degrees. I don't want to start pulling the anchor till I get that bow swung around to 330 degrees again, with that anchor chain going, or rope and chain going straight out in front of me. Because if not, I have a really good chance of just pulling that anchor, not even thinking about it, push the windlass button and start pulling it, and drag it right into the structure. That's why it's imperative to pay attention to your compass when you're setting your anchor. This is gold. I'm giving you gold. I'm trying to help you. Believe me, I've made every mistake known to man trying to figure this shit out on my own. When I had captains with way more experience than I have, I only have 47 years fishing for a living. I had guys that have been fishing way longer than that, trying to tell me when I was young how to do it, and I wouldn't listen to anybody. I had to figure it out on my own, and I lost anchors. I caused damage to the bow of the boat trying to rip the anchor out of the rocks. Did all kinds of stupid stuff, and what I'm trying to share with you is how to avoid stupid stuff. Remember, when you drop your anchor, to think of or look at which way your compass is pointing, because that's huge. Also, when you go to pull your anchor because you're not set up on the spot correctly, look at which way you're pointed. The easiest way is to look at the compass. If you're pointed at 120 degrees, when you drive back around to get ready to drop on the spot so that you can actually fish the spot, before you push that anchor over, you want the bow of the boat pointed at 120 degrees. It matters. Everything I tell you, everything we talk about, it all matters. Why do you want to be anchored? Because, like I said, the ocean is a desert with little oases. You want to fish that oasis. You want to chum so that the bait is going to the oasis. You want to cast your line in so your line's going to the oasis. That's why you anchor on the oasis. You anchor your boat so that when you throw your line over the back of the boat, your lines are going to go to the oasis or the rock or the edge of the kelp or whatever structure that you're trying to fish when you're fishing the coast. We're not talking about offshore. Calm down over here on TikTok. I know, but we're not talking about offshore. We're talking about fishing spots along the Southern California, our Northern Baja, or Channel Islands, or San Clemente Island, or Catalina Island. We're talking about fishing the Southern California coast. I don't want to know what you do back east because I'm not talking about that. And I'm sure you guys are way better fishermen than those of us on the West Coast. I already know that. You don't even need to leave that comment. But I'm trying to teach you how to be successful fishing in Southern California. The offshore thing is fun. It's just awesome. This Dorado thing is historic. Well, my dad's only been doing it since 47, and he had never seen anything like this. Now, I know some of you have been doing it longer than he has, and you've probably seen it 5 or 6 times, but he has never seen this. So this is historic. You want to get involved in it. You want to go out. You want to catch some of those Dorado. You want to have fun, definitely. But then you have to think, my boat, I have to pay the boat payment. I have to pay the insurance. I have to pay for storage or my dock. I would love to learn how to fish for the fish that live in Southern California. That's the really cool thing about your saltwater guide. Yeah, I can teach you how to fish bluefin, Dorado, yellowtail, all that kelp patty fishing, how to read your sonar, how to read your fish finder. All that stuff's really bitching. But what I really focus on teaching you is how to catch fish in Southern California, winter, spring, summer, or fall. How to anchor on spots, how to fish the spots. Because I'm telling you, as you've all seen, anybody can go offshore and drop their line in the water under a kelp patty and catch a Dorado. That's super easy. It doesn't require a lot of skill. That's why everybody's having so much fun. But when you start to dissect the California coastline or the islands into those little oases where the fish are living at, now it's going to be imperative that you anchor on it, and you also have the ability, when you're anchored on it, to actually increase the prey density level in the water, and that's chumming. And I have a whole video series on my website. Oh yeah, what's my my website, yoursaltwaterguide.com, gang. Go over there and sign up to yoursaltwaterguide.com. Don't spend any money at the website. Call me before you do. I'll explain how it all works. If you don't believe what I'm saying, that it works, Google my name. Google Captain Dave Hansen or Your Saltwater Guide, and let me know how much negative shows up. Nothing. The only people that don't take advantage of the website and don't understand how it works are people that didn't take the few minutes to call me and ask me how it works. I even ask you for your phone number, and if you're cool enough to leave your phone number, I'll even call you up and explain to you how the whole website works. The last thing I want you to do is go out on your boat tomorrow and not catch anything. I want you to catch fish every time you go. If you catch fish, then the whole industry makes out. The bait company makes out. The fuel dock makes out. The tackle company makes out. The donut shop makes out. 7-Eleven makes out. The coffee shop. Everybody makes out if you catch fish. That's why I made it my mission 20 years ago when I teamed up with Fish Dope, or before that, 25 years ago when I teamed up with 976 Tuna, to start to share with all of you all the secrets that we gathered up fishing, running sport boats and fishing for a living for the last 48 years. Gang, too many people believe there's no fish in the ocean. And that was my solemn oath, was to teach you how to catch the fish that live in Southern California, so you quit helping everybody close everything. Like right now, there's a movement on the internet. Oh, the Dorado, you should only be able to keep 5 in Southern. Would you shut up? There's a billion Dorado. The fastest growing fish in the ocean. They live for 2 years. Don't believe me? I don't care. Look it up. They live for 2 years. They're going to be 70 to 80 pounds in 2 years. This is the fastest growing fish in the ocean. You're not going to save the planet by only catching 5 because they're going to die anyway. So you might as well take them, give them to if you don't like to eat them, give them to your friends, give them to your buddies, give them to people. I know How many people have asked you, you got any extra fish? You got it? And you're like, oh no, I didn't want to hurt the population. Shut up. Put them in your ice bag. Bring them in. Give them to your friends. Give them to your buddies. You're not going to hurt the population. So quit trying to help the fish and wildlife. Get off the internet. If you think that we should change the limits on anything, shut up. We are so over-regulated, it's absolutely ridiculous. You cannot adversely affect the population of any fish in the ocean with the fishing pole. Not even you, Sean Oates. You're not that good. None of us are. So quit thinking that you're going to destroy the population of fish in the ocean with your fishing pole. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Oh, I'm sorry. I got off on a tangent. We're talking about anchoring. Back. Bring it down. I saw it. Okay. So back to anchoring. So when you go to pull your anchor, you want to make sure your boat's pointed in the same direction it was in when you drop the anchor. A boat will swing around on the anchor. A lot of times that'll swing that chain right into that rock. That's why you have to look at your compass before you pull your anchor. Go, oh shit, when I dropped the anchor, we were pointing at 330. Now we're pointed at 120. Yeah, you swung all the way around. And now if you just push the button and start pulling the anchor, just flip the windlass up, you're just cranking that thing right into the rock. Stop for a minute. Take a deep breath. Spin the boat around. Drive up to it. Look at my anchoring videos. I have a whole series on how to set your anchor up for fishing in Southern California. It's imperative that you put a tripwire on that because you're fishing structure all the time. And you want that thing, that anchor, to pop off the chain and lay straight up and down with the flukes pointed up so that it comes right out of the rocks. Every video I make at my website, yoursaltwaterguide.com, pertains to fishing in Southern California, pertains to catching fish. I'm just trying to help you catch fish, gang. Leave your negative baloney comments to yourselves. I don't need them. I don't really care what you think. I'm just telling you what works. From fishing for a living on different boats every single day with different people. And also, if you go out on a sport boat and you look, they got 150 feet of chain. They got a 80, 90, 100-pound anchor on the front of the boat. If anchoring didn't work, they wouldn't haul all that metal up and down the California coast. They wouldn't drag all that iron. The reason why it works is because the fish are living in their house. And I know, Dan, your sister's brothers, aunts, cousins, nephew caught a fish drifting. How exciting was that? You went out all day and you caught one stinking fish. You got one stinking bite. I'm not into that. I like to go to their house and catch every one of them. And I like to be at their house and have an opportunity every time I throw my line in the water to catch one. That's why it's imperative to learn how to anchor. Anchoring is super important in Southern California if you want to be successful. And I know you're going to leave a comment. Well, yeah, good. Leave the comment, but it's still not going to change the fact that you need to anchor up on the spot if you want to catch fish. So learn how to anchor if you don't know how, if you want to learn how, to catch fish in Southern California and stop fishing for boats and going out there and following boats all day. Do yourself a favor, go to yoursaltwaterguide.com. You'll never have to fish for boats again. You can start fishing for fish. And that's why you bought your boat. You bought your boat to fish for fish. You didn't buy your boat to go out and look and find out where all the other boats are so you can fish next to them. That's ridiculous. It's ludicrous, but it happens every single day. All right, gang. I want to thank you all for joining us today. We got a little tiny bit of this hurricane still coming through here. A little bit of rain, a little bit of wind, but nothing bad. We're all happy. We're all safe. Kelly's safe. I'm safe. Marley's safe. And number one, Finn is safe. We're safe through this little hurricane. You guys, I hope you stay safe. Do yourself a favor and your family. Don't go fishing on the weekend. Don't go Saturday at least. I don't know what's going to happen Sunday, but there's so much unstable air headed for you. Go to windy.com and look at this thing. It's going to track right up the coast and come right into your backyard in Southern California. You don't need to try to be a hero. Maybe Saturday's the day you go golfing. I don't know why anybody would golf, but I guess because they don't know how to fish. But do that. Do something. Clean that backyard. Hang out with your family. Do something this weekend, but try to stay off the water. And the Western Outdoor News tuna jackpot, California tuna jackpot has been canceled. They called me this morning, asked me to talk about it. They're calling off Saturday because it's just too ungodly chance of really bad things happening. So stay off the water Saturday. I'll be back with you tomorrow for another great show. Thanks for joining us. Adios, muchachos.